and welcome to Advanced Coverage for Breaking News Stories. This is Journalism M03-Advanced, Digital Media Reporting and Writing with Moorpark College. I'm Professor Kelsey Stewart. Let's go over types of breaking news coverage. We have crime, accidents, and natural disasters, entertainment and sports, government and education, health, and environmental. An example of crime, accidents, and natural disasters would include mass shootings, the Kobe Bryant's crash, and fires. For entertainment and sports, think of updates on celebrity music releases, especially ones that cause uproar, or the coverage of the Oscars, Grammys, or some other type award ceremony. In regards to sports, either updates of unusual circumstances on professional athletes, or this summer updates on the Summer Olympics. In regards to government and education, this could be any type of update on politics from any level. At the national or worldwide level, it could be signed treaties, like the one that we just did with Afghanistan, the presidential candidates and their running, as well as any updates to the educational realm, whether local or national, in regards to funding, new programs, curriculum. Think of when Common Core was introduced. In regards to health and environmental, health right now, the updates to the coronavirus and any possible vaccines would be considered breaking news. In environmental, this could be new academic journals or reports in regards to climate change, animal endangerment, and toxins in water. How to secure your knowledge of breaking news. Start following Twitter accounts, download apps that keep you updated, secure networked relationships, and lastly, be an expert in your field of coverage. For crime coverage, follow your local sheriff's department VC scanner, which is Ventura County Sheriff Scanner. Download the Police Scanner app. Our Moorpark reporters actually have this on a constant stream during fire season or during a time when they are aware of a major crash, tragedy, or event of some kind. If you are covering crime and fires, then your first job is to secure contact with the local PIO officer or the public information officer, and to make sure that you are creating a lasting, professional, and respectful relationship. Eric Bouchow, one of the PIO officers for the Ventura County Sheriff's Department, said he got so fed up with one local reporter and his persistent questions, such as asking if the borderline tragedy was pre-planned and if the sheriff department lacked incentive to investigate further, that he refused to take any more of his calls. As PIO, he had the right to do that and can do that to you if your questions are poorly placed and ill-informed. Think of the TMZ reporter who released the information about Kobe's death prior to the LA Sheriff's Department's ability to notify the Bryant's family. In order to be an expert in your field of coverage, you have to know what is going on and at all levels. Everything that happens up top has a domino effect to directly influence or affect communities at the local level. So read the news every day as much as possible. I, of course, recommend knowing everything across all departments, but at the very least, prioritize worldwide, national, and local coverage for your main beat. So for the government beat, the presidential election primaries are happening in every state. Know when it comes to your town, who the candidates are, and what they are standing for, and so forth. You have to be knowledgeable if you want to be up to date on what happens. For sports coverage, you should know exactly the most updated information on the Summer Olympics, specifically with the torch ceremony starting this month. What are they doing in lieu of the coronavirus scare? What is the latest on basketball? Has the California governor mentioned anything recently about the new rule where NCAA players are able to get agents and so forth? Know what is going on so that when something happens, you don't have to spend so much time researching and can instead use the valuable time to interview eyewitness accounts and secure your network. Your goal is to be the voice that the public seeks to see release tweets on certain subjects because your coverage and reporting is that trusted. Gaining access. The California Penal Code 409 says, nothing shall prevent a duly authorized representative of any news service, newspaper or radio, or television station or network from entering the areas closed pursuant to this section. Exception is crime scenes or can interfere with incident operations. Only California and New Jersey have laws which all unlimited access to legitimate press to emergency areas. Journalists do not have a general right to access private property. Consent is between the journalist and the persons having control of the property, not the public safety agency. The California Penal Code allows media to scenes of disaster, riot, or civil disturbance, but not to crime scenes. However, the statement does not imply that the news media can interfere with incident operations. If entering a location is hazardous, they should be advised. Media access cannot be prevented for safety reasons unless their presence would impede by blocking the entrances and exits of disturbing evidence. So, as a journalist in California, you are able to cover, within your understanding of safety, everything but crime scenes. Crime scenes you can have access to if you secure the right networking. Media passes. How to gain access. First, reach out to your contacts in the field. Secondly, research how to apply for a professional pass in your department. And thirdly, be official in your representation. Hopefully, by this time, you have secured a relationship with the most immediate responder or media affiliate in your determined beat, specifically before a major event. So if you're hoping to cover fires this year, start your networking now, because fire season will be too late to start creating a network opportunity. If you are hoping to cover the election this November, get your feet wet with the primaries that start this Tuesday on March 3rd. LAPD offers press releases online. For freelance writers, it's $16 with a completed media pass application, and you must submit to the media relations section. This will be easier attained when you have a professional website stocked with bylines, as in professional publications. It will also be easier to attain when it is clear through the perusal of your professional publications that you are an expert or a growing expert in your field, and you have written for respectable news organizations. Thirdly, this will be attainable when you are a member of a professional journalist union or committee of some sort. The Society of Professional Journalists membership is roughly $75 and highly worth it if you are seeking credentials. Lastly, save all press releases and make sure that you have a detonated page on your website offering your credentials and quite possibly the breaking news stories you have covered. Writing a breaking news story. When attached to a news publication, there is a general format that is followed. 1. The alert or tweet. 2. Briefs and media links. 3. The news break. 4. The update. The alert, also called the snap or bulletin, is about 75 characters and is the most useful to be posted on Twitter from your professional media account or the main newsroom social media account that will be publishing the story. The alert can be, as the LA Times handled, the future investigation on the Kobe Bryant crash, or it can be an actual release of the event. Example, first U.S. death confirmed from coronavirus. This is written in the active and present tense. The focus is telling the reader the main facts. Briefs and media links. The brief is an alert in headline form. It can be lengthened as needed for the subject, always making sure to update to current news. The media link is the source document, whether the official report from a sheriff or police department or some sort of document or coordinating tweet that backs up the brief. The news break. This is where you offer a short breaking news story that allows room for 1 to 2 eyewitness accounts, a few quotes from authority sources backing up the claims, as well as context and background history. The news break should handle who, what, when, where, why, and how. Lastly, we have the update. This form is either an alert or a brief or full news break and is posted or published as needed. The update and its form is dependent upon the type of breaking news coverage, and if it is ongoing, like a mass shooting, or just updates on one event that happened quickly, like the Kobe Bryant crash. The story format. We have the hard news lead, active and present tense, high verb and subject mention, high attribution with authority source and closest relative to main source victim, and lastly, a promise for continual updates. The hard news lead leaves nothing out and is more of a shout out of what happened. Mass shooting at elementary school in Indiana leaves 13 dead and more wounded. Shooter still at large. The tone of the story is urgent and active, keeping readers fully engaged and in tune with the current scene of the breaking news. The scene setting is not overly descriptive, but the verbs attached to the highest mentionable subject, think Kobe Bryant, is required for high SEO turnout. In order to offer the most secure attribution, the highest form of authority on the story is quoted, and the closest relative or suspect to the victims or victims that have been interviewed. This is a pluralized, the promise for continual updates. There is a pluralized professional promise for further coverage. An example, the Moorpark Reporter will continue to update on the hour. Stay tuned. Is there any questions on breaking news coverage? And those of you taking my class know how to reach me. Thank you for tuning in, and I will see you next week in class.